But I'm building my first corner hub where several different directions of the way all split off from. And it's gigantic. It's probably going to be at least 200 or 300 meters across.
Yeah.
Because I did it circular. And it's cool because some of the factories that are creating clutter on the ground, I'm probably just going to move up into there because any of the resources that come into that location, I might want to do pre-processing up there. And I may actually just move half of that facility up to the top just because it makes sense. I don't know. At the same time, I might just want to build more buildings because I'm not utilizing 100% output at all. I'm probably maybe producing 20% of the resources into useful shit and putting it in a sink from the map, and so there's no reason to just take apart factories. They're doing fine right now. But part of it was I'm also prototyping what I want to work on for the YouTube world. Because I told you I wanted to build the mothership, or not the mothership, the Independence Day, the movie from like back in 2000 or some shit.
Yeah, not the new one, the old one that's actually good. Did you know they remade that shit to be awful trash?
I did not.
Yeah, you don't got Will Smith. You got Will Smith's son, apparently, so the kid grew up or didn't. I don't remember now. I just know it was like... It wasn't as good as the first one. It definitely was a total down flop. It was an absolute downgrade in all capacities.
Well, I definitely have to see it, then. Terrible movies are one of the two most important things to me. The worst ones and the best ones. Those are the ones I care about.
Yeah.
Well, no, and the first one was so fucking good. Because, like, I mean, dude, you can't.
What the fuck? I was shooting at that fucking thing.
I thought you only needed to have one of those biscuits left at the end.
No, I need to keep all of them from fucking getting eaten. And I was shooting at this one fucking rat, but, like, you have to be spot on with this fucking mini game, because otherwise you'll fail every time. But yeah, even a slight movement of the controls, like, I can't do slow, it's only fast.
Huh.
And because it's not being, because it's forcing me to be spot on, it's very fucking hard to hit anything.
You're playing with a controller though, right?
Yeah, I'm playing with a controller.
Okay, then that's not. So what I wanted to do was one of those planet destroyers, the discs that pop off of the mothership.
Right.
I want to do one of those over the mesa in the desert area because it's a good place to get the view of it, you know, because they said those things were like a mile wide or some shit like that. And so what I want to do is I want to go in, I want to get the measurements, and then I want to build an accurate 2-scale replica of that ship, and that's where like the factory will be.
Okay.
But I also want to have it shooting a laser down, which is going to be really fucking hard, but I figure with some bright colored paints and some windows and some creative Minecraft glass techniques, I should be able to make something that looks like a laser beam from a distance. You know, up close, it's obviously going to be building materials. Unless I use a mod to put custom materials in there that look like chunks of light. But, you know, with the lights that they added, I think I could really do something cool with that. And, you know, like make the light isolate the color that's in the material so that it looks brighter than it should. Yeah, it's a photo editing trick.
Right.
But see, what I thought is I've got to build a factory on top of the plateau to get the resources together and basically have the next tier leveled off and running properly. So what I'm thinking is I build that, then I build the base overhead, then it fires the laser, and what I want to do is actually have like the factory have chunks floating in the air like it's being blown up, but they're still producing resources. And they're connected. So like the factory is just an exploded mess, and that would be where like the ore gets processed and then sent up.
Okay.
You know, I mean, it's because at this point it's like I could go for some efficiencies and stuff, but I haven't played the game enough to really try to tackle a mega factory, because I'm watching Kibitz do a mega factory build, and I'm recognizing how out of my... Now, see, it's perfect for me because it's a lot of notebook math where you're calculating shit ahead of time. And I watched him make an error of a 0 on something, and his world almost became too toxic to play with radioactive. Wow. Yeah. He showed a picture of the map with the bubble that had become irradiated and the one that was dangerously irradiated. Almost the entire low valley. So you know in the upper north corner how there's like a sand region just up from where there's a good oil spot, and it's kind of like a nice desert. If you've been on my world even remotely recently, it's where I put the aquarium tank where I have a pet spitter.
Oh, okay.
I see. I didn't know if you had gotten a chance to see that, but I built a big circular tank flask around the spawn area for one of those protects an object spitters, or the fireball spitters, because he's protecting one of those S squiggles. But I don't need to harvest it, and he's going to stay there because that's where he spawned. So I just built a circle around the spawn and made it look like a fish tank. And what's really cool is I even have a bean that often spawns inside there too. So I've got explosive bug flowers, spitter, a bean, and an S inside an aquarium that looks like an aquarium because it's right on the edge of water, so it's like this really perfect spot. If you haven't seen it, I did put it in one of my 4-part update 4 videos. I think it was in the last one.
All right.
You get to see it. So you could actually check that out and see it if you haven't seen it yet. Because see, I don't think you've been on my world, unless I'm wrong, since I did the update 4 videos. And doing update 4, I completely revamped like half the fucking map. Because I had to build so much shit to get production up to make the final stuff to get my golden coffee cup. Holy crap, dude. That thing, I'm hoping that I can do it in the world that I started for the long play series. The one I've got like 20 episodes up for right now.
Okay.
I'm hoping to get to golden coffee cup in 200 hours. And that's knowing how to get there, knowing everything I need to be prepared for at the end so that I can build it as I go and be ready for that shit. Because like I was not prepared to produce 1 million fucking copper ore for a single tier of it. 1.2 million. It was insane. But yeah, like, I mean, it literally takes about 20 seconds to auto-save on that world. But now I'm building the highway system, and what I wanted to do is I plan on making a train just for tourism.
Shits and giggles.
Well, no, it's going to be how people can come and see my entire world in one, like, 5-10 minute train ride. And then they can go
Those are invisible
anywhere they
sucks.
want to check stuff out. But see, I want to make it so that the train goes through the normal world and then through the chaos realm. Or maybe have it stop at the junction point where you could get on the one that goes through the chaos realm, which is the undermap. Because I spend a lot of time in this world under the map now. I've started to build pathways and factories below the world because it's just easier in some cases. But I call it the chaos realm because you'll be walking forward and then you turn around and there's a wall behind you, but there wasn't one when you walked forward. Or you're walking along and then all of a sudden you're floating up because you're inside water, only you're not. But then when you get to the top, you're in water. Because, you know, it's under the map. You're not supposed to be there, so the physics get really weird. But I actually have one room, because you can't drown, I built a room inside a water bubble so that when you walk in there to work at benches or whatever, you're underwater, but you're trapped in a layer so you can't float up.
Oh.
So I have an underwater workshop in one of my areas down there. Hypertubes are amazing. I can do so much with a hypertube. And a hover pack. Like, that's a must for me. Actually, anybody who wants to go to the underworld or the chaos realm, the broken part of the map, you need a hover pack. Seriously, you can't survive down there. We'll fall through something and get stuck somewhere you can't get out of without unstucking. But the funniest part, though, is just how high up in the air the highway is.
What did you do?
Because I designed it so that it's flat transit across the whole map, right? So I have to be above the mountains for at least the vast majority. Like, there's one mountain that is actually taller than the highway I'm building. And it's the one that's got that little nuclear resource on top of it way north, up in the very corner. That is the tallest piece of land on the map. It is significantly taller than any other mountain. And it is the only thing that my highway is not taller than. But my highway is level with, like, the next tallest mountain. And so it's the views that it generates are really, because from the ground it just looks mega, because it is. But then from the top, you can see the whole world from anywhere up there, right? Okay, so I've got it. If you place your cable, your space tether,
right,
at the green gas mountain, you know what I'm talking about, near the first normal spawn area, there's that mountain with the green cloud around it that almost everybody builds a base next to.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Oh, no, if you spawned at the first option, you know, that green starting area that most people tend to start with, and you, like, run down the hill to one of the nearest iron deposits,
There's
that
not
rock
bothered
with...
at all with the new update. You can actually select your spawn now.
Oh, no, see, no, that's not even what I'm talking about. I'm talking about The one when you had the 4 options, like update 3, update 2, update 1. This is the part of the map that everybody knows. Like, no, when I hopped on your world, I think you were built, your base was next to the green rock as well. That's what I call it, the green rock, because it's a boulder with a gas cloud around it in the middle of the valley.
Oh. No, I don't think I was ever anywhere near any of that shit.
Hang on. I'm going to find a picture of it, and I'm going to post it.
I think that one's higher, Rusty, on the left.
There we go.
Oh, god damn, that took forever.
That did take forever.
Yep, that's it. I literally typed in satisfactory gas rock. And it gave me the first image in Google Images is the rock.
Okay. You can go back to the section with the creature so you can ride around and get all of its shit.
Yeah, I need to go back to that one area with the flut.
Yep. Because there's all that shit that you need to ride around on.
Yeah, what the fuck, game?
You missed your jump. Because game said fuck you. Wow.
Okay, and the game made me let go that time.
What? How did... What fucking frog? What does that pad do anyway? Not that one, but the one in that tunnel.
I think that led me to a different area.
Oh, okay.
Like for that balloon that I released, I think it led me somewhere for that.
I'm gonna send you the picture. Dude, that's like starting day 1 basic area. Actually, I guarantee you've seen it came to my base, and my space tether's right next to it.
Yeah, maybe there, but I've never personally ever gone over there. Oh, there's really an orb over there? That's nice.
Yep.
So anyways, it's... If you put your tether next to that thing, the highway is at the level of where the carriage comes down to.
Good work. Aren't you guys happy you saved our little flut friend? She may come in handy again sometime. Now, go back to the trans pad, and I'll bring her home.
I'm missing one thing here.
Yes.
What am I missing?
Maybe it's that thing that sank into the middle of the swamp.
Maybe. How do I get over there, though?
Maybe that weird pad I was asking about. Yeah, that one in the cave. Yep.
This one?
Yeah, I don't think I ever saw you use it.
Look out, Jack! It's an ambush!
Oh.
Apparently I've never used this.
Why whack things when you can just throw fireballs at it?
Pretty much. Well, that was the one orb I was
Look.
missing.
Found it pretty easily. Now, I guess you just leave because you can't do anything else there, can you?
No, because I got all the scout flies, I got all the orbs.
Right, and in order to get all the orbs, you need to get all the scout flies anyway.
No,
Yes.
no, that's power cells.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, this place is done, I
Wow.
believe.
Yep.
So, literally, the second that starts playing, you can see what I was talking about because I happened to start recording there at that spot.
Okay.
I mean, like, literally the first few seconds should key you into where I am there. Because I know you've been there, but if you didn't build a base there, then you probably wouldn't remember it. Because it's one of those things, most people, that's their first base location. At least I'd say about 2/3 of the people that I've either seen play or talked to who've played the game, that's just where they started. Because it's a very good spot. Because it has copper, concrete, iron, right there. So, you know, the first couple of tiers can all be solved in that one spot without ever having to leave it. And then there's sulfur and crystal and oil and coal all within 500 meters of that spot as well. So, you know, and they're not the optimal ones. But, you know, for a new player, it's not bad having that much shit that you're going to need at low levels all available
Really,
pretty
game.
quickly.
Say goodnight,
Yeah.
Jack.
Yes.
Where the fuck am I?
I don't know. Oh, right there.
See, in that episode, I had just unlocked the hover pack, too. So, that was a wonderful thing. It's funny, though, because, like, I talk about it, it's like, yeah, it's pretty good, but it's still not good enough to replace my Blade Runners. Then I spent, like, 300 hours in the air. I don't touch the ground anymore. Like, I feel dirty when I'm actually walking.
Maybe we can stop the bats.
Swamps kind of suck.
Wow, that was good.
I've never had a top pop like that. Moxie.
What is it anyway? Is it beer? Is it root beer? Is it some sugary beverage? What is it?
It is a soda. It is
Okay.
non-alcoholic.
Right.
It does not taste like anything you've had before, but some of its aftertones are very root beer sarsaparilla-esque. If you've ever had a type of candy called Whorehound, it has a good deal of that flavor in the drink.
Here's a power cell we agreed
upon. It tastes like something from 130 years ago, 150 years ago. Like it doesn't taste like Pepsi, but it's got some of the caramelly tones that Pepsi has. It doesn't taste like Dr. Pepper, but it has some of the flavor complexity nuances that Dr. Pepper does because of all of its flavor variation. It has some of that Coca-Cola flavor to it in the cola. It's just different. And the thing is, it's not necessarily something everyone's going to like, but I definitely think everybody who's only had name brand colas that are shoved down your throat should try it, because it could very well make you not want to drink crappy soda anymore. And that's the thing, is it's like, and it's expensive enough and hard enough to get that since it's not always in front of you, you're not always drinking it. Although I do plan on it, once I have my facility set up and I have like a storage room that looks like a small warehouse.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna order a pallet of this shit from the company anytime I run low. Because it's one of those things where it's like, I'll just pick up the bottle, I'll contact the company, and I guarantee you, every soda company out there will sell you large quantities of their soda directly delivered to your house, and it'll probably be cheaper than the store. Because like I had one person tell me, it's like, oh dude, you could get Crystal Pepsi anytime you want it. And I went, how? And they're like, contact Pepsi and order Crystal Pepsi. They still make it, they just don't ship it too many places. Which, by the way, if you've never had Crystal Pepsi and you see it available, get it. It will become your favorite cola ever. It has got the brightest, crispest flavor because it doesn't have the weight of the dyes they use. That's all they really did, is they just took the dye out of Pepsi. But the dye has a flavor and a texture to it. So it changes the Pepsi a lot to take the dye out. And it is just so much better. It's kind of like if Pepsi had the brightness of Sprite.
Oh, okay.
But don't think that it's going to taste like Sprite. It tastes like Pepsi. That's why it didn't sell. It's the same reason why, like, in the 30s, people didn't want to buy blue M&Ms, because what we don't know today that they knew a lot back then is that when sugar spoils, it can turn blue.
Oh.
And so it looked like tainted candy, so that's why there were very few blue candies in that time period.
Weird.
Yeah, they brought blue back to M&M's later. They had that whole thing in like 2000-ish with the commercial with the big M&M with the deep voice, and that was when they brought the blue one back. Is because people were no longer afraid of it, because most people don't know that sugar can even spoil. Because our world is different now, you know? Living the way I live, I definitely can understand that too.
What the fuck? Why can I not hit this thing?
Well, did
I
you
don't
buy
know.
dinner first?
I mean,
Like, I'm going right underneath it, but it's not
I
counting
think
as
that's if you
anything.
put a ring on it first.
Honey, if you want to smash this,
There
we're
you go,
gonna
you
have
got
to get
it.
married.
Where is it?
Where's what?
I don't know, the shit that it had.
It didn't have anything. I have to get all of them.
Oh.
See, for me, part of why I like Moxie so much too is because it's an old world. They're literally using the old world recipe. So like, there's no, I don't have to worry about looking at the label and wondering if they put sucralose in it, you know, or aspartame or any of that shit. This is just like, the label is natural crap.
Right.
And then probably like one preservative with a science name. Plus, its name is Moxie. Maybe you guys didn't watch the second night at the museum and become horribly attached to that word when he was accused of having Moxie. But I did.
I don't know. I think I remember that, but ultimately I didn't. You know, I don't, because it's been so long since I watched that movie.
See, like, I've always liked the word Moxie, but when the actress playing Amelia Earhart talked about the concept of Moxie with the 1920s, 40s flapper girl emphasis, it just sold me on the word being awesome. You know, like, that's the thing, is it's like, I can directly connect my love of the word Moxie going up because of that movie. Same thing as when she's like, I loved it when they jumped into the painting that was black and white, and she called it a monochromatic mayhem. And he's like, what? And she's like, the black and white photo, you boob!